Talk about your team, coach, and how you're doing and your expectations.
Yeah, we had 29 student athletes going to the regional championships, and that's always good because you got to qualify for that. So it's not like you're actually getting that free spot or that free ride. We're hoping or shooting that we can get 20 to qualify, which will be the most in program history, which is always what we want to do, moving forward, doing stuff that we've never done. And that's the goal overall for us, to get to the regionals and just advance. Unfortunately, that meet, there's no winner, there's no loser. Top 12, you advance. So 12th place is unfortunately as good as first. So we're just trying to keep them focused on the task at hand, which is just to advance to the next round. And when you get to the NCAA in Eugene, everybody gets the same mark, 0, and you start over. But I'm pretty pleased the fact that we have people all over the place. We got throwers, we got jumpers, we got sprinters, we got hurdlers, we got distance runners, and that's also a good, remarkable program that's actually building and on the rise when you can represent all the areas, not just doing a couple areas pretty well.
You do have 5 or 6 athletes who have a legitimate chance of making some news, making some noise out there.
Absolutely. I mean, and the difficulty with that is we don't want them to approach the meet thinking just get past this, because that could kind of get you nipped up at the line before you know you're 13th place. So you sort of have to go for it, because if you're trying to be cute, yeah, you can get in some serious trouble and find yourself in lane 1 at the NCAA, because whatever happened at the regional is what's going to give you a lane or a position or a place at the NCAA. So if you have an average regional, you can find yourself in lane 1 of the NCAA. Somebody like Kenny or Des, we just can't afford to have that, because there's a huge difference between lane 5 and lane 1. So they still have to take it seriously and understanding that race will have a sort of a say into what position they are at the NCAA championships. Remember, I guess not just that, you got Ray, you got Andrew, you got guys all over the place that could really make some serious damage. And we just want to take it seriously. Man, I've seen, #1 ranked kid in the country not advance to the NCAA because they just try to be cute. The kid is thinking, I'm just going to get through this, and so I can move on to the NCAA, which is really my goal. You start planning to go to the World Series, and you don't handle the Super Regionals, you find yourself going back home. So you just have to play and practice and compete your best at all times, because you never know what's going to happen. The weather's supposed to be kind of funky, and with funky weather, kids start being nervous. I hope the weather to be fine, and my philosophy is simple. I hope it rain cats and dogs, man. I hope it's nasty, and I hope it's easier for us to advance and make it to the next round, that our kids will prevail on the poorer conditions, if you want to call it that.
Everybody kind of knows about what Girls has done this year, but about Kendra, she's kind of quietly had just a spectacular year, and then the SECs, she was phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes not being the headliner takes the pressure off of you, and allow you to sort of do your thing quietly. And Kenny's definitely done that. She hasn't lost 100-meter hurdles or 400-meter hurdle race all year, so she's undefeated in both of those. Similar than the season that Des had indoor, she was just unbeatable. And then you get to the NCAA, you sort of have that surprise, if you want to call it that. So we've been getting Kenny ready that everybody wants a piece of you. You're the person to beat. Somebody beat you, that will give them the opportunity to be on the Bowerman's list. So you're sort of the Bowerman maker in that event, and you got to make sure that you sort of protect yourself at all time, and you prepare to compete against all comers, because they're all coming, and their season will be made by beating or how close they are to her. So we want to make sure that she continue forward, and she understands that there's a big responsibility in being successful. And so far it's been good. She has raced limited time, which has even been better for her. She likes to race a lot, and I'm just against that. I think that rest is far more important. Getting her to the NCAA fresh, feeling good, and right now she's a little hungry because she hasn't run that much, which is kind of what we want her. And that didn't have the weekend that we expected at SEC, so which is also good, because sometimes it gets you refocused. Cool thing about the butt kicking, man, it hurts. That pain lasts for a little bit, and you remember how it feel like, and the last thing you want is for that to happen again. So sometimes you sort of want to get your butt kicked a little bit going into the NCAA, so you refocus and kind of get your priorities straight. And I think that's the place that Des is at. She's working really hard and fixing the mistakes she made, which is good news for us and bad news for some of the competitors.